My name is Jesse.
Man, Jesse, how are you doing today?
Man, doing great. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Man, we are so excited to bring to you guys the Elite State of Mind podcast. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. And what we're going to talk about real quick is what is an elite state of mind? For me, it is when you begin to elevate your mind to a place that is going to be set aside from, maybe some of the people in your circle, maybe some of the people you grew up with, to get to a better place of learning and understanding. Jesse, what is that, the elite state of mind for you?
Man, it's a lot. But like you said, the piggyback it's changing the mind. It's a mind transformation. Because understanding that when we control the mind, when we change the mind, then those action steps, they come into play then.
Sure, I think one of the most important things when you're obviously in your transitional stages of life, from being a child to a young adolescent, to becoming a grown man, you always have to be forever learning, growing, and evolving.
Yeah.
And that starts with where your mindset is.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, if you got five $1 bills, man, you thought you had all the money in the world,
Balling, baby.
right? Just because you had more than one piece of paper.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Then once you become a young adolescent, that five $1 bills, it don't hit the same. And then surely when you became a grown man and OG&E's knocking at your door and all those things,
Let me get that.
right, it becomes different. So I feel, like you said, to take those action steps, is very important. And I know one of the biggest action steps for us has definitely been, to continue our journey of collecting knowledge.
Yeah.
Through
sure.
the things we read, the things we take in, the things we watch.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you have read that you would say have given you the biggest impact on changing your state of mind?
I think as a kid, it was the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Okay.
Was huge just because my mom was big on language, having the teaching background, so she would give us the spiel, which I won't go into right now, but
Sure.
about it, and just reading and knowing that this is a man that came from nothing, whose father was murdered early. So his mom was a single mom that had 4+ kids, and that he was just trying to get out the mud, as the young kids say today,
Sure,
right? He trying to get it. So he was doing what he had to do, or what he thought he had to do at the time, which is to rob and to steal, and to be, in his words, live like an animal. Unfortunately, he became incarcerated, but during that time, he had some time to be still, which I think is important as men. And when we transition, we got to get still so that we can hear some things and the lessons that are being taught. Because what I forgot to say before was he had a mentor while he was in prison. He had somebody that understood where he was and where he was trying to go. And he took the opportunity while he was in there to read the dictionary. Mm-hmm. And that stood out to me, man.
Yeah.
You did it 'cause that's something my mom had us doing. And at the time, I was mad because I didn't get it. I'm like, this
Right.
dictionary is super thick, but I get it now as a grown man. So,
And look, I think, one thing I want to focus on real quick, when developing that, elite state of mind, mentors play a huge role in that. I mean, one thing you hear from so many people is that if you, are around, 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th. Or if you're around 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th millionaire. Yeah. So the people that are, in your circle, or the people that you go try to get in the circle with, are going to be, very vital and important to where you are elevating your mind, because they're going to have things outside of their money, to teach you. And, I don't think, we really, me personally, I put a big enough importance on that, till I reached, maybe my mid-20s and now, going into my mid-30s, about, having mentors for all facets of life,
right.
Spiritually,
right.
mentally, physically, financially, people that have been, successful in all of those facets, because in my opinion, I don't know if you learn a lot from losers.
No, I don't disagree with that.
So
I don't disagree with that at all.
It's one of the things where you got to get a winning culture around yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Who are some of the mentors that maybe you've had that have taught you some things that you've stuck with you?
Oh, I think my one of my uncles, my Uncle Anthony, he's the one that actually gave me that book, the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Okay.
And he was big on knowing who you are, from where you come, and to set a standard in your own mind of what you want to become, and that stuck with me, man.
Sure.
That seed planted has been watered throughout. I'm getting ready to say decades, dog.
Yeah,
That is crazy. That's
crazy.
crazy. Throughout the decades, and that was just from the mental aspect. One, another one of our uncles, Uncle Brian, financially, definitely has been a mentor. One of the things that he told us, very well, hey man, as your money increases, create that gap that nothing changes.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes I've listened, sometimes I haven't. But as I look back now, I'm like, I can see the difference between the two.
Okay.
And how you live. And it's something I think you sent me a video the other day with Shaq talking about, hey man, it's not how much you spend, it's how much you keep.
For sure.
And I'm just like, it blew me away, the simplicity of that particular wisdom.
Right, because it's crazy to think, if you had taken some of those lessons to heart.
Oh man.
Early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s.
Yeah.
Where we would be, financially these days, or have we taken, some of the advice of, of other friends and then chosen, career paths, that we're on now in those times. And I definitely, in elevating your mindset, getting that elite state of mind, it is, very important that when you're presented an opportunity to take it.
Oh, for sure.
Because I know we have both experienced the, oh, hey, y'all should try this. Nah, I'm
Not right
good. And then the next thing you know, you look up, 5-10 years later, and this person is doing great. And then you're like, oh, I probably should have listened. But we didn't have the wisdom, knowledge or forethought to, jump into that, or at least, give it, a look-see. And
serious consideration.
Yeah, and see what was going on about that.
Yeah.
But, guys, we're going to get into a lot of great topics here on the Elite State of Mind podcast. Our goal is definitely to listen, learn, and grow. And we thank you guys for tuning in.